All right. Hi, Janice. Welcome to the Meetup Spot.
Thanks for having me.
A weird question. Weird question. Does people do people tell you that do people tell you that you look like Eddie Redmayne?
I have gotten that one before. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
not very good at pop culture, so every time I've heard
oh,
that, I always have to Google him and say, okay, yeah, I'll take it.
okay. All right. So here we go. Here we go. Let's get started. So number one, Janice, tell me about yourself and your growing up story.
Yeah, so gosh, could be a long answer there, but in a nutshell, I was born and raised in a small town, Barhead, Alberta, and lived out there until I was 17, and then I headed to the big city in Edmonton for university. And it was a good place to grow up. I liked growing up in a small town. Honestly, it was lovely. But I loved also being at university in Edmonton. But not long after that, I ended up teaching in another small town. So I've spent a lot of time in rural Alberta, Nigel.
Okay. So Janice, tell me what is rural Alberta like to you?
What is rural Alberta like?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, depends where you are for sure, but I think rural Alberta has a lot of really kind, caring people who look out for each other and who care about community and education and healthcare and all the things that a lot of urban Albertans care about too.
That's good. So Janice, why do you do what you do?
What a question. Why do I do what I do? Honestly, I feel like being in politics can honestly be a bit of a calling. And for me, there are some hard days, I'm not gonna lie, but overwhelmingly, there's a lot of positives, right? And those days where you feel like you're making a difference, like you've helped someone, that makes it all worth it. So yeah, doing what I do because I know there's a lot of people who don't have a voice. And so if I can, in my own little way, try to amplify their voice as an MLA, I'll do the best I can always.
Okay. And you mentioned that there are positives to this. What do you think? What do you think are the positives to being in politics?
I'll preface this by saying that I've only ever been an opposition MLA, so I've never been in government. So there are many days where it feels a little bit futile, right? Because as you know, you follow politics. We'll try to change things, we'll try to introduce bills, we'll try to do what we can to make things better, but we often don't have the support of the government. So I say all that to note that there are those heavy times, right? But, when I'm working with my office staff and they've let me know that they were able to help get somebody on AISH or help connect them with the healthcare supports they needed or help connect them with housing, those kinds of things, right? You take the small wins where you can.
Okay, that's good. That's good. And and Janice, what kind of mindset did you have when you first started?
When I first started, I guess I can say I was maybe a little bit naive and didn't fully know what excuse me, just a sneeze
It's
there.
okay.
Yeah, didn't fully know what I was necessarily getting into. When I started out, I didn't, I wasn't super well known and had a lower profile, right? So I think one of the eye-opening things is just over the years, in the almost 7 years that I've been an MLA, getting more known and getting a lot of kindness. Don't get me wrong, like I get a lot of support and a lot of kind words, but also, to your point around, hey, have you anyone ever said you look like so and so? I get a lot of like not so kind comments too, right?
Oh,
And I do get hate, especially on the internet. So that part's been eye-opening, but uh you know what? In the scheme of things, I'm a pretty privileged person, right? So I carry on and do what I can and try not to let the haters, letting me down, sort of thing. Don't let the haters stop me from doing the good work that needs to be done.
okay. And you think? you think my Eddie Redmayne comment was a bit mean?
No, no, that's fine. I get a lot worse than that. So
Oh,
Eddie Redmayne is a he's a good looking guy. I'll take that. But no, I just get a lot of comments on my looks generally and on my sexuality and those sorts of things that are just like so unnecessary. Just look on any of my Facebook posts, you'll see it.
all right, okay. And Janice, what helped you get started in politics?
Gosh, what helped me was really just learning about my communities that I represent and spending a lot of time just, meeting people and building relationships. I find politics is all about relationships, right? And now I can go, when I first started, I could go into a community league and not necessarily know many people. And now I can go and, guaranteed that I will know a lot of people there and there'll be a lot of familiar faces and I'll be able to ask them about their families and, how their work is going and those sorts of things, right? Because I really think I got into politics because of people, not because of any other reason. And so just being able to strengthen those relationships and, connect with as many people that I represent as I can.
Got it, got it. And Janice, Janice before I should I forget. Janice, what do you think about your write? What do you know about your writing?
What do I know about my writing? Oh gosh, well, I could be here for days telling you about my writing. I'm coming at you from my home, which is in the Alberta Avenue, kind of Parkdale area, north of Commonwealth Stadium, south of 118th area. So that's where I live, but I'm also so lucky to have my office in another part of my constituency, in the Highlands neighborhood. So it's really nice to be able to have, those sort of two home bases throughout my constituency. And then, of course, I get to spend a lot of time in all the other communities that make up my riding. So, Riverdale, Boyle Street, Macaulay, as kind of the western edge of my riding. And then you move over and you've got Alberta Avenue and Parkdale and all the way over to Highlands and 50th Street. So it's a pretty big area. I get to represent nearly all of Chinatown. I get to represent a nice little chunk of the River Valley and a whole lot of people from various communities with really cool stories. And so, yeah, I love talking about my riding of Edmonton Highlands, Norwood, Nigel, and yeah, like I said, I could talk about it all day till the cows come home because it's just every day I'm experiencing something new, whether it's the amazing diverse restaurants in Chinatown or on 118th Avenue, Alberta Avenue, whether it's one of the amazing community organizations. We are home to a lot of social agencies. So, I have Boyle Street Community Services, which just opened a brand new center, the Bissell Center, Hope Mission, and just a whole bunch of community serving organizations. So yeah, I get to connect with a lot of people with different experiences.
Nice, nice. And Janice, as an MLA, what does your typical day look like?
That's a great question because I can honestly tell you that it's rare that one day looks the same as the next. So, for instance, today I started my day in the far west end, which is why I was late coming to you,
Oh,
talking with preschool students at a play school in the West End with another MLA. And I'm doing a podcast with you. I've got a call with one of our staff after this. I've got a meeting with my office team, and then I've got another meeting with a community organization. Then I'm going to do some phone calls tonight to my donors, So my days are packed, but they very much vary from day to day. However, that's because I've just come out of the legislature. So last week, our legislature session ended. And if you'd asked me last week what a typical day looked like, I'd say, well, I'm headed to the legislature. We're going to have question period. We're going to be debating bills. We're going to have committee meetings, those sorts of things. But because the legislature's over for the year, I'm out of there and I'm out in the community, if that makes sense.
okay. And you mentioned donors. When you say donors, do you mean ordinary people?
Yeah, so people who donate, because one of the things I don't like about politics, but I have to do it, is fundraising, right? Because we
Mhm.
rely on people making donations to fund our campaigns. So, those signs that we get cost money, having a campaign office costs money, having paid staff on campaigns, that all these things cost money, right? So unfortunately, we have to fundraise. So for me, I'm going to be calling some people. I'm going to be thanking them for their support. And then I'm going to be saying, hey, if you're able to make a year-end donation, because it's the year end. And so people are looking at tax credits and donating to various causes, right? So I always encourage people, try to donate to local causes. Like for me, I'm going to be donating to a lot of the organizations that are in my area that are helping people. But if you have a little extra, maybe think about donating to the NDP if that is a political party that aligns with your values.
Okay. Okay. Janice, what are your projects for your community?
Projects, that's a good question. I mean, honestly, I can't say that I have certain projects lined up because, a lot of what I do is kind of comes to me from the community. So, for instance, like I said, I have a lot of meetings with community members, with organizations, and they'll often give me tasks. So, for instance, I have an institution in my riding that's just asked me for a letter of support. So I'm going to be working back and forth with them to figure out what would help them the most so that they can get a grant. Do you know what I mean? So if I were to list to you all the projects I have on my plate right now, we'd be here all day because it's just a kind of a variety of what's being asked of me from the community. Does that make sense? So I can't say, okay, here's my three top projects. No, every day you can ask my staff, every day I'm doing a million things and just trying to do whatever I can to support my constituents.
Got it. Got it, Janice. And okay. So here we go. Janice, as an MLA, what are the things you're doing right now to combat youth unemployment?
Great question. So again, I mean, with the caveat that we are not in government, so we do all we can to put forward policies and proposals. Unfortunately, the UCP government is unwilling to accept a lot of our proposals. And I'll give you a concrete example, Nigel. This year, we put forward a bill just a few months ago that would increase minimum wage. Alberta has the lowest minimum wage in Canada. Who is it that makes minimum wage? It's often young people and also women and racialized folks, right? So the bill had three pieces: increase the minimum wage because it is the lowest in Canada here in Alberta. Um, Allow that servers and people working in the hospitality industry keep their tips. Again, often young people, not always, but often. And then thirdly, remove the youth minimum wage. Alberta has a lower wage for young people, and that is ridiculous. It is discrimination. So those are three ways that we could help support young people through this bill. We put forward this bill. The UCP did not support it. They would not vote for our bill. And there's been a number of examples. We've proposed a higher minimum wage in the past as well, right? And the UCP have not supported it. So that's one example. Of course, you might say to me, well, that's not going to help people who don't have jobs right now. Totally fair, but it would give a boost for those people who are making the lowest incomes in our province. We've proposed other things to help youth employment. The STEP program, the Summer Temporary Employment Program, was something that a lot of Albertans have benefited from over the years. You might have heard of STEP students. I was a STEP student when I lived in Barrhead, Alberta, when I worked for the Barrhead Museum. STEP was a program that would help get young people employment with various organizations that would work in hand with the government. This UCP government killed the STEP program. So those are two concrete examples of ways in which this government could be immediately helping youth access the job market, and they refuse to do that.
Okay, okay. So if the STEP program is gone, do you have any resources to help the youth looking for work nowadays?
I wish I had more that I could point to, but again, we in the NDP are always trying to put forward propositional ideas that this government could support. I'm not trying to be hyper partisan, but the reality is we have a government that's unwilling to work with us with some of those proposals. And so when I do get young people reaching out to me asking me about employment, I get a lot of people asking if they can work in my office. I wish, unfortunately, we don't have the budget to hire more people. But I encourage them to, especially if they're interested in the political arena, to reach out to political parties to see if there's any jobs available centrally. But I always encourage young people that are facing barriers or that are always getting turned down for jobs. I just say, keep applying, keep putting yourself out there, keep volunteering because, one of the things that young people experience a lot is that they're told, well, sorry, we need somebody with experience to take this job. How are you supposed to get experience if you're not getting hired anywhere, right? So it's kind of this cycle where like, nope, they want experience, nope, they want experience, but I can't get experience because I can't get hired. So one thing I tell folks is to think about volunteering if they can, to look into internships, to look into other ways that they can at least try to show that they're getting experience. But it's tough. Like I said, I hear from a lot of young people who are trying to get into the job market, and we know it's hard right now.
I see. I see. So here we go. Let's see. Okay, so I think it looks like based on the time we have, I think let's say two, three, yeah, 2 to 4 questions before we head to quick fire. So, so Janice, as someone who used to work in education, how should education be better in this province?
Well, that's again a big question, but I would say, one of the first steps is the fact that um, Alberta has for the last while been the lowest funded per student jurisdiction in Canada. So what I mean by that is we are a pretty wealthy province, aren't we, Nigel? And yet Alberta funds students lower than any other province in Canada, which is absolutely shameful, right? So, we can boast about having this world-class education system, but we're losing that advantage because this government is refusing to fund to the level necessary. So that would be a first step for me is like really ensuring that we are investing at the level needed to ensure that our students are successful. The second piece is ensuring that school staff and teachers are supported. We saw EAs having to go on strike earlier this year. Was it earlier this year? Anyways, my sense of time is so messed up. They had to go on strike at -30 at the coldest temperatures just to get a deal that was fair for them. And then more recently, as we all know, teachers went on strike because teachers were fed up. Teachers are not the type of profession that strike a lot in Alberta, right? They didn't, the last time they striked was when I was in high school. That's a long time ago. So you can imagine this was a big deal for teachers to go on strike. And instead of the UCP government negotiating with them and trying to reach a fair collective bargaining agreement, they didn't do that. They ruled the teachers back to work and they invoked the notwithstanding clause that basically trampled on teachers' rights, which was the first time that the notwithstanding clause has been used by this government. And that's incredibly shameful because this is something that is meant to be used, in emergency type situations. There was no need for this government to do that. So those would be a couple of the ways in which I would really improve the education system, make sure that students are well funded and supported, and make sure teachers and education staff are respected and valued and given the fair deal that they deserve.
Got it. Okay. All right. So Janice, what would you like to see as a feature of Alberta?
Say that again, Nigel.
What would you like to see as the future of Alberta?
Future of Alberta. Oh, I love that. So I would say, Nigel, I want to see an Alberta where everybody is welcome, everybody feels like they belong. I want to see an Alberta where our education and our healthcare systems are well funded. I want to see an Alberta where my unhoused neighbors don't have to be out on the streets on a day like today where the snow is falling and the temperatures are dropping. And I want to see an Alberta where, young people want to stay here, where they feel like there are job opportunities, where they feel like they can build a life here, right? And so this is a big reason why I'm a New Democrat, why I'm a member of the Alberta NDP, because I believe we have a plan to address all of these areas and to really build the better Alberta that we know is possible.
Got it. Beautiful. And Janice, yeah, I think I think we can skip number nine because I think we because whatever whatever answer I'm pretty sure you're gonna ask for number nine you answered for 8A. So let's just skip to number 10. What does the work you do right now mean to you?
What does the work I do mean to me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. It means a lot, and kind of like I said at the outset of this interview, right? I know that I'm really privileged to do this job. I've talked about it in the legislature before. The fact that we are now a province of 5 million people. 5 million people in Alberta. How many people get to do my job? 87. So, what an honor, what a privilege it is to be an MLA. And so, I try to remember that when I wake up in the morning, how privileged I am, what an opportunity it is to be able to do the job that I do, and to never take that for granted, and to never take advantage of my position, and to just try each day to think about how I can try to make this province a little bit better.
Thank you. Just so I know, I wish I could ask more questions, but probably but probably next time though. We only have a few minutes before you're gonna go somewhere else.
No, I'm
So
so sorry.
that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's
Blame
okay.
the weather.
Yeah, I know it's really getting snowy. So anything any Christmas plans now that you're at it?
Yeah, I'm gonna spend some time with family. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break for sure and just try to recharge. How about you?
Just a simple family just a simple family celebration.
Love that. You live here in Edmonton, right?
Leduc. I'm about to move to Edmonton in a few weeks.
Great. I love that. What part of Edmonton?
Southwest. Okay,
Okay.
what am I telling you? This okay. So let's move on to quick fire. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
So the point of quick fire is to answer as many questions in under 90 seconds. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's do it.
All right, here we go, Janice. One word to describe yourself.
Excited.
Best public speaking tip.
Just do it. Put yourself out there.
Oh, nice. Best artist you love to listen to.
Oh, I hate these questions because I like everybody. Uh, gosh, who am I listening to right now? Band of Horses, so random.
Oh, okay. Okay. One everyday item you can't leave without.
Coffee.
Oh, mantra in life.
Stay hopeful.
Got it. Best place within your writing for a good meal.
I can't answer that one because I have so many restaurants. I have more restaurants than most other MLAs, and I refuse to pick one.
Okay. Okay. Best lesson you learned in being an MLA.
To try to stay humble and to just keep focused on the goal and don't let the haters get you down.
Got it. Best TV show or movie you watched recently.
You're gonna say you're gonna think I'm lying, but I don't even own a TV, so
What?
I watch barely anything. I do listen to podcasts though.
Not even streaming.
No, very rarely. I don't even have accounts. I know.
Wow.
It's embarrassing. I've admitted it to the world now, but yeah, I know. I don't literally, you can look around my house. I don't even have a TV. So,
That's okay. That's okay. So I guess 90 seconds all done. So
wow.
uh so uh honestly, you're an awesome person to be with, just saying.
Yeah, I'm so grateful you reached out. And like I said, I was sorry I didn't have more time.
Okay.
But as I was sitting in traffic, I called my staff and I said, we're gonna have a problem here. So thank you for being flexible.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. That's okay. So here we go. Let's screenshot. Okay, again, thank you, Janice. Any feedbacks or comments?
No, that's great. Did the screenshot work or was I like looking far away?
That's okay. That's okay.
It worked?
And and any way the view our viewers can find you.
Yeah, honestly, social media is great. If they want to reach out and they have any questions, please email me. You can click an email button on my Instagram and on my Facebook, or just Google me and you'll find it on the Alberta legislature pages as well. But please reach out, even if I'm not your MLA. If folks have questions or comments or feedback, I'd love to hear it.
All right. Again, thank you, Janice, for being on the Meetup Spot.
Thank you.